This presentation is a guide to personalized employment path in Singapore, which is also referred to as PEP. The agenda for this presentation is what is personalized employment path and what is its purpose, how it differs from normal employment path, benefits and limitations of PEP, eligibility to get a personalized employment path, documents required and the steps involved, conditions to maintain your PEP, is renewal allowed, and a PR option after the PEP is issued, options if there is a loss of job, and bringing in family members. I am also going to handle some frequently asked questions. So I will not go through all this right now because anyway this slide will get repeated. So let's start with the presentation. And the first question is, what is a personalized employment path in Singapore? So personalized employment path, as the name suggests, it is a special type of employment path which is issued in the personal capacity of a specific person. Normally, when employment passes are issued, they are issued in the name of a company. So there has to be a company as a sponsor. But in case of personalized employment pass, company sponsor is not required. It can be issued in the personal name, and it is typically used for highly skillful or high caliber people, or the people who have significant experience in their domain, or those whose skills are very much in demand in Singapore. So the typically people who will qualify for this are bankers, top level directors in various companies, technology specialists, people in the field of medical research, people in modern technologies like artificial intelligence and blockchain. So all these people will fall in this category. And what view Ministry of Manpower takes, that these people are already well established in their area of operations and they are already commanding a high salary. So why not to make it easy for them to get an employment pass and maybe to relocate to Singapore. So if they relocate, obviously it is going to be good for Singapore economy. For example, the technology companies or medical research companies will grow here. So that is the purpose of personalized employment pass. Now let's have a look on differences between normal employment pass and personalized employment pass. So here I am presenting a table and the left hand side shows the PP aspect, whereas on the right hand side we have normal employment pass aspect. So as we have seen, company sponsor and job offer is not required for PP, whereas it is required in case of normal employment pass. If there is a job loss, personalized employment pass holder can still stay in Singapore for 6 months, search for another job, and if he gets that job in that 6 months period, he can still continue with his PEP. Whereas in case of normal employment pass, after job loss, the person gets only 30 days to stay and close his matters in Singapore. Within that, he needs to find another job or otherwise leave Singapore. For PEP, the criteria is minimum $12,000 or 18,000 Singapore dollars monthly fixed salary, last salary, depending upon whether you are in Singapore or applying from overseas. Whereas for normal employment pass, the salary criteria is 4,500 Singapore dollars per month. But the job offer is required. So as you can see, normal EP threshold is significantly lower. And the last point is PEP is issued for 3 years and it is non-renewable. Whereas normal employment pass is normally issued for 2 years, but it is renewable. So first 2 points are in favor of personalized employment path, whereas last 2 points I think goes against it. So moving on to the next slide then, what are the benefits and limitations of PEP? So the first benefit is that you don't need any company sponsorship. What that means is you get it issued in your name and you can tell any prospective employer that you already have an employment pass. So they don't have to do anything. They can straight away issue a letter to you, letter of offer or employment, and you can join them just by notifying Ministry of Manpower. This is one of the biggest advantage of PEP because many a times companies are worried for applying for employment pass because they are worried that it might get rejected or they might get questioned from Ministry of Manpower officers. The second benefit, it has a longer time after job loss. So after job loss, you still have 6 months in which you can stay in Singapore, look for another alternative, find another job, obviously qualifying the PEP criteria, and then if you get the job, you just continue your stay in Singapore. The next point is it is easily obtained even from overseas. So if you qualify the criteria, then it is not necessary that you need to come to Singapore to obtain the PEP. You can apply from overseas. Of course, once approved, you will have to make one visit at least to Singapore to activate it within a period of 6 months. But application can be done even when you are overseas. And the last point is because of its flexibility, you can easily switch jobs. So these are the benefits of PEP, which are quite a strong one. But there are some negative points also which come along with PEP. The first point is it has a high qualifying criteria. What that means is to qualify for personalized employment pass, if you are already in Singapore on an existing employment pass, then you need to be making at least 12,000 Singapore dollars by way of fixed salary, whereas if you are from overseas, you need to make at least 18,000, which is quite a high salary in Singapore. The next negative point about PEP is that it is not renewable. It is issued only once and only for 3 years. And after 3 years, either you need to obtain permanent residency or you need to shift to normal EP. So as a result, the benefits are available only for first 3 years, and after that you are again on normal employment pass. And the last part is you cannot start any business while on personalized employment pass. So moving on to the next slide, then the question is, what is the criteria to get PEP? What is the qualifying criteria or eligibility to get the personalized employment pass? And the criteria is as follows. If you are currently overseas and as an overseas foreign professional you want to apply for personalized employment pass, then your last drawn fixed monthly salary was at least equivalent to Singapore dollar $18,000, and it should be within last 6 months before you apply. So you might be making, and if you are already in Singapore on an employment pass and you want to apply for PEP, then you must be earning a fixed monthly salary of at least Singapore dollar 12,000 per month. So the amount limit is 12,000 if you are in Singapore, equivalent to 18,000 Singapore dollars in for a foreign professional who is currently overseas. So you might be making salary maybe in British pound or American dollars, and that is where this 18,000 equivalent will come. So the amount will need to be converted to your Singapore equivalent by applying the prevailing exchange rate. The other part that I have highlighted is fixed monthly salary. So let's have a look what is the definition of this fixed monthly salary on Ministry of Manpower website. So I am on Ministry of Manpower website and they have given the definition of fixed monthly salary. That basically means basic monthly salary plus fixed monthly allowances. So it will consider whatever is you are going to get guaranteed fixed per month, including allowances. But any kind of overtime, bonuses, commission which is variable is not considered for this calculation. So if you are getting a housing allowance which is fixed, that is included. But if you are getting a sales commission which is variable, then that is not considered here. So as I said, if you are getting a salary of 9,000 Singapore dollar fixed plus 10,000 Singapore dollars approximate sales commission every month, then you do not really qualify for PEP even if your salary is more than 18,000. So keep this point in mind. Now the next question is then what documents are required, and this is relatively straightforward. So basically information is required about you, your background, your job and the proof thereof. So passport details will obviously be required because employment pass is issued only to a passport holder. Details of your job and salary. Details of a local contact. So one local contact will be required. I will explain about that in a minute. Salary slips for last 3 months, bank account statement showing the salary deposit and latest tax statement. So multiple proofs of your salary computation are preferred while submitting PEP application. and also the copy of your resume and relevant educational certificates is preferred. Now, one thing to note here, you need to give a local contact, and this local contact is only an emergency contact. So there is no need to get really worried about it. Local contact is not sponsoring your personalized employment pass, or local contact has no other role. In case something happens to you while in Singapore, then Ministry of Manpower or government authorities need to have somebody who can be contacted, and that is where this local contact comes into picture. So once the documents are ready and the form is signed, the process of filing for employment pass can begin. And the steps generally are to log onto the EPOL and file your employment pass application. Now technically, if you are already in Singapore and holding an employment pass, then you can do it yourself. However, it's a complicated process. There are 8 to 10 screens. So we don't really recommend you do it yourself, because if you do it and if you make any mistake, it can be troublesome for you. If you are an overseas candidate, then obviously you must engage an employment agency. So what we recommend is generally to avail our services to file PEP. So we can submit application using EP online, as we are already an approved employment agency. We will monitor the transaction and we will see when it is approved. We will act as a local person and we will help on all the matters and issue your PEP. Processing time is 8 weeks, and if I have to put the timeline roughly looks like this. Maybe for 2-3 days you will need half a week to collect all the documents and scan copies. Then we file the application and then we wait for the approval. Finally, when the approval is obtained, then we will arrange for the issue of employment pass. If you are overseas, you will have to arrange for the visit to Singapore so that your employment pass can be issued. So the next point is about maintaining your PEP. So now you have got the PEP, you are working in Singapore. So what criteria is applied to allow you to continue on personalized employment pass? So the first condition is that you should not be unemployed in Singapore for more than 6 months at any point of time. So within 6 months you must get another job. Otherwise you will need to cancel the pass. And you must earn a fixed salary of at least 144,000 annually, regardless of the number of months you are in employment. Again, the criteria is fixed salary only. So fixed salary definition we have seen. However, the amount criteria is now on an annual basis and it is no more on a monthly basis. So if you work for 8 months and you are getting a $20,000 fixed salary, then you are already qualifying for this criteria. Similarly, in case you are in a difficult situation and you are not getting a job and then some job comes your way, which is not somewhere in the range of 12,000, but maybe it is like 6,000, 7,000, and if you do it for a couple of months, then that is still allowed so long as total annual salary of 144,000 is achieved. So this part you will have to keep it in mind. Now, one of the requirements of Ministry of Manpower is that you need to declare this salary to Ministry of Manpower once every year by 31st of January. So last year's salary you have to confirm to MOM. The next question then is renewing PEP. Is the renewal possible? So personalized employment pass is a one-time visa and it cannot be renewed. The duration is 3 years. So you can apply it only one time. You can get it only one time. It cannot be renewed. And the original idea was that people will apply for permanent residency and get PR in this 3 years window. Now PEP was introduced in 2007. At that point of time, getting a PR, I will say, was relatively fast. But nowadays it is almost next to impossible to get PR in this 3 years window. Because first of all, you have to be working in Singapore for 2 years before you can file PR application. And once the PR application is filed, it will take 1.5 years for your case to come for decision, and then maybe it might be approved or it might not be approved. So now PR route, I guess, is almost out of questions, and the only logical route then left is apply for normal employment pass at the end of this 3 years duration and then continue in Singapore. So you can approach your company and tell them that, okay, look, this is a problem, so I need to get a normal employment pass, and you can continue in Singapore. Now, what options do you have in case of loss of job? So the first thing that you have understood by now is you have a 6 months period to find a new job, and if you cannot find a new job in this period, then in that circumstances you will have to leave Singapore, cancel your personalized employment pass, and close all the matters in Singapore. However, in some cases I have seen some people converting their PEP to a normal EP, and they started their own business as a consultancy or whatever it is in their areas of operation. So this can be one of the options that you can explore in case of loss of job. Now the next question is bringing in family members. So are you allowed to bring in your family members while on PEP? Obviously it is allowed. So your married spouse and children are allowed to come on dependent pass, and your parents are also allowed to come on LTVP, as a salary limit of 12,000 which is there for LTVP approval is already reached in this case. However, please note that the processing time for DP holders of an PEP is normally longer, and it takes 8 weeks compared to 3 weeks for DPs of normal EP holders. So here are some of the FAQs that I'm going to handle now. And the first question is, are personalized employment pass holders allowed to start or do their business in Singapore? So PEP is strictly an employment oriented visa, and the PEP holders are not allowed to start their own business in Singapore. So what is the definition of starting an own business in Singapore? So that definition means owning a business and also acting as a director of that business if it is a company. Obviously, PEP holder will not be able to do sole proprietorship or partnership at all. But if he is incorporating a company with his own shareholding or with the shareholding of any of his family member, and if he is also acting as a director, then in that circumstances, it will be considered as a activity doing business on own account, and it is not allowed. They can act as a director of some other company, for example the company for which they are exercising their PEP. That is allowed, but owning that company is not allowed. The next logical question then is, can PEP holders invest in shares of any company in Singapore? So again, investing activity is not in the purview of PEP. So you are allowed to invest in shares of any company in Singapore. So if you consider these first 2 points together, you can be director of a company but cannot own that company. And you can be owner of shares of a company but cannot act as a director of that company. So both these roles you cannot take. So you can be a passive investor in any company, and that is not a problem. The next question is, what happens if the person cannot get a job in a stipulated period? So I think I've already answered this. If within 6 months you cannot get a job, then you have to cancel a PEP and maybe arrange for your exit from Singapore. What happens if my new salary does not comply with PEP criteria? So one key question to remember, that the criteria for PEP maintenance is on annual basis. So annually you have to make $144,000 of salary. If you lose a job and for the time being, for a month or two, you decide to take any salary which is lower than 12,000, that is 144,000 divided by 12, then that's not a violation of PEP rules, so long as you make annual salary of 144,000. But in case if it happens that now you are more or less sure that your salary cannot reach 144,000 for that year, then in that circumstances you are required to cancel your PEP. So in that circumstances, you may approach to your company and ask them to sponsor a normal employment pass and cancel your PEP. The next question is, does a PEP holder needs to obtain approval from Ministry of Manpower when switching a job? No, you don't have to obtain an approval. Instead, you have to notify them. So there is no approval process involved. You are free to switch job and you are free to take any job. But you will have to inform Ministry of Manpower once you have changed the job. And the last question here is, do I need to have a specific educational qualification to be qualified for PEP holder? So there is no specific educational qualification. The criteria is only salary. So even if you do not have a specific educational qualification or a graduate qualification, it doesn't matter. The decision will be taken only on the basis of salary. There is one more question which I forgot to list here, and that is, do PEPs get rejected? So generally I have not seen PEP getting rejected if all the qualifying criteria is met, because this is not a pass which is approved on case to case basis. The approval is, if you qualify, you are approved. Of course, if your documents are in doubt, if you claim that your salary was high but documents do not provide a conclusive proof, then in that circumstances there can be a rejection. But generally there is no rejection on a case to case basis. So these are the main points about personalized employment pass in Singapore. It is an excellent scheme to attract top level talent to Singapore. But I think it has some negative aspects like the 6 months period and the 3 years non-renewability, which actually reduces its attractiveness to some extent.
Thank you for watching this video. This video was brought to you by Epica Consulting Singapore. Subscribe to our channel today to get notified when new videos are posted.